Hello, you reached tonight's waiting team training call. Please let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Hi, Reverend David. Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. It's just you and me so far. Nobody else wants to show up. You still there? Sandy?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Sandy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I thought I lost you. I hit a button by accident. I told you, technology and me, we're not good friends.
That's okay. Yeah, it's just you and me tonight.
Oh, how are you doing?
Okay. A little tired. It's been a long day.
Oh, has it?
My wife had 2 doctor appointments today, so we went to those and
A lot
just
of
trying
running.
to. Yeah, so I had to do some shopping in between, and it's just been a hectic day. And I tried to lay down and take a nap, and the phone kept ringing. The phone just kept
Always. Always.
So.
Well, Doug had his... Go ahead.
How's Doug doing?
He's actually gone out. He got up about 1 o'clock or so, slept around the clock, and he decided to go out. And I was like, "Oh, I wish you wouldn't." But I'm eating, so I don't want to say too much, make him angry.
Mhm.
But yeah, he seems to be okay. He's got this chronic foot thing that the doctors have always misdiagnosed as gout. It's not gout. They don't know what the heck it is. He's had it since he's 13 years old, and it used to be like 3 days, Reverend Dave. He'd be like catatonic for 3 days. And now it's just usually 24 hours, and he's back to pretty much normal. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, we were all praying for him.
Yeah, thank you. Is your wife doing any better?
Not really. Some better, but she had a moment last night made me so proud. She was having physical difficulties, and suddenly I heard her rebuke the devil. And told him, said, "You want me, but you can't have me. I belong to Jesus Christ." Hallelujah. So made me feel good.
Yeah,
she was singing hymns and praise songs, and so made me feel good.
Is this kind of a new thing for her?
Very new.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. That's good. There is hope. There's always hope. So. I'll have to pray that continues. Yeah, I can't remember if it was old Daddy Hagen or one of the other preachers, but he said he'd gone to sleep one night and something woke him up. He was kind of, in a stupor, but, awakened. And he looked down, he saw the devil, and he says, "Oh, it's you," and he went back to sleep.
Well, I heard a story about the devil went into this lukewarm church and marched down the aisle, and the people panicked and ran out, and the preacher panicked and ran out, and there's this old man sitting in the front. He just stared that devil down, and the devil walked up to him and says, "Don't you know who I am?" He says, "Yeah, I know who you are. I've been married to your sister the last 30 years. So he didn't frighten him.
Well, I was at a Bible study today, and we've been at 2 weeks of different people. And this is Priscilla Shira, and she's a young black woman. And, her daddy is Tony Evans. And, oh, gosh, she is dynamite, I'll tell you. It's such a joy to listen to her. But she was just incredible. But she preached on Ephesians 3:20. God can do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. And, I mean, she put on quite a show. I mean, she gets into it and dances around the stage and makes her point.
That's great.
It was just such a jolt in the arm. It really was. She's terrific.
Yeah.
And I had gotten on the tail end of a Bible study they had with her, and really liked her. So I was glad that there's 2 weeks of Kay Arthur, who I cannot stand, 2 weeks of Priscilla Shira, and then the next 2 weeks will be Beth Moore. And I don't know much. I went to something with Beth Moore a long time ago. I don't remember her at all, but I'm really enjoying Priscilla.
Mm.
But I tell you, she just made wonderful points. But it is a thing, you just need to stand firm. And I was praying with a friend of mine who's under great attack from the devil. I was praying with her last night. And I said, I know it's hard, but, you just give him an inch. He'll take the whole ruler. He just, it's terrible. Well, sounds like things might be improving for you. That'd be wonderful.
Well, we've pretty much decided to divorce, so it's just trying to avoid each other now. Just trying to not fight.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, that's good. Any word from Mike?
Yeah, he came home this weekend, and
I knew that.
he called me this evening and said that he might not be at the call, and he's not.
Oh.
I don't know if he had to go back to Alabama for something. His sister was raising all kinds of Cain with him and causing troubles and saying she wants her inheritance now, and just being a pain. And Mike went back home Saturday, and then Sunday they called him and wanted him to come right back so they could get into the house so they could get things. And Mike said, I'm not coming back until I'm ready, and I have the keys to the house, so I'm not letting you none of you in.
Now, is his sister his only sibling?
No, there's 4 of them. There's four kids.
Oh, wow.
But they're strewn out throughout the United States, and the daughter just happens to be in Alabama, across town from where Mom lived.
Uh-huh.
So she just thinks she's the cat's meow, and she should have everything. And
oh, no. Yeah, it's not bad enough to grieve. You have to put up with that nonsense.
Yeah.
Terrible. Well, his mother sounded like quite a lady when he was talking about her in one of the chat rooms. Sounded like she was pretty special. That's nice memories.
Yeah. And I told Mike on Saturday, I talked to him at great length on Saturday or Sunday, and says, your mother continues on through you. And I said, you have her kindness, you have her generosity. I says, and so as long as you have that, she will never die.
Right.
So.
Wonderful. Yeah. Oh, he is. He is something else.
He's a very generous man.
I met Mike through, I guess it was one ex. Celia McCarthy was putting that together. He was on like the voting bunch that decided, which business we were going to do. And that's the first time I met Mike was through that. And I've really come to trust.
Well, I met Mike back, I think it was in 2007.
Well, that's quite a while.
And I was just getting started in internet marketing, and I met him through, I can't remember what it's called, but it was a business social network. And I contacted him, and he contacted me through Phone Bite. And I was so impressed that he had gotten back with me within a matter of minutes after I invited him to be my friend on this social network.
Wow.
And he contacted me and said, like to meet you. And so, and you never know where it's going to go. And that's why I follow up personally with everybody that I can, be it through phone invite or through a personal phone call or whatever, because you never know when you're going to find that one special person that's going to make all the difference in your life.
Yeah.
And I've been good for Mike, and Mike's been very good for me. Yeah, he's taught me a lot, and he's got the patience of a saint. So I don't always pick up real fast on computer stuff, and he's been very patient with me and taught me how to do things. And I remembered a lot of it, but a lot of it I've forgotten, and he always brings it back to mind. He never gets angry. He never says, "I already taught you this once, Dave." I know, I forgot. He always very patient and just informs me what needs to be done.
Yeah, he's a great mentor. He really is.
So.
And we enjoyed meeting him and Barbie very much.
They're special people.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done a bit of marketing. We have been yesterday was a lost day with Doug being sick. And today I had the Bible study, and I was working, problems, with the real estate nonsense. That was all morning. And I got home, and it was like, hurry up and make dinner, sit down to eat. There's a call tonight. I need to be off the phone. I need to be out of the kitchen, So I just been a couple of days of absolutely no marketing. And I haven't even been on IBO at all today. I got to go in and do that later. But I haven't been doing much. I've been thinking about getting Tweet Adder because I know Don has it, but my friend Dennis Collar has. He uses it. But and I was going to get a Facebook like an auto poster, because I asked Jack McLaughlin. He's always in the group, posting on the groups. I said, you must be using an auto poster. And he said he was, and gave me his link, and I went in, and it's expensive. It's like $9.99 a month, and I don't want to do that. I just don't want to pay. There's no guarantee it's going to do a darn bit of good, $9.99. Yeah. So he said, well, why don't you try the 30-day trial? I haven't even done that, so I might do that.
Yeah.
But there's all these fingers out there. It's like About Me, and then the TGI, and all these other things that, you should be paying attention to. And I haven't done anything. It's terrible, and I feel so guilty, at the end of the night. But there just isn't any time.
Yeah.
And I've been having computer problems. I just had to clean off my machine again. It's like stopping in the middle of a sentence when I'm typing an email, just stops. And I said, you're going to come home one night, and this thing's going to be right through the window. I'm telling you right now. I said, that guinea temper of mine is going to take over, and it's going to go.
It's funny.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're using traffic exchanges, right? And you don't post in the group, do you, Reverend Dave?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I post. But I found something that looks interesting, and it's a kindergarten through 12th grade, and then they have supplemental courses after that.
Oh,
but
is that the one that
basically teaches you how to market?
That's the one Robert was talking about. I think I joined that under him.
Yeah, so did I.
He said something about a barrel full of monkeys or something. But there again, I mean, the link came through, and I haven't even looked at it. That's terrible. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I joined that right after he was talking about it. But yeah, I'm going to see if that does any good. Right. And that's free, right?
But but for the kindergarten through 6th grade, but then after that you have to pay $10 a month.
Ew.
So.
Oh.
But you pay your sponsor. It all goes to your sponsor. It doesn't go any of it to the company.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm trying
good.
to figure out how they make money.
Yeah.
They have their fingers in other things, but they're basically just trying to recruit for themselves too. So, excuse me.
Well, it's like this. I joined Easy Wells under Dennis Collar, and there was another one. It was free, and then you could upgrade. But all these things, it's like the hackers get in there and start pulling all the money out, and it all ends up like just been paid and Zeke and all the other, I mean, it's terrible. And I'm thinking now maybe just not do any of that, just stick with Cyfork and feed a matrix, and which I haven't done anything with, because they've got the thing now where you can post your ads.
Right.
And I'm just not going to get involved in anything else. I'm just going in too many different directions and getting nowhere.
Right.
I know
what you mean.
Need to concentrate on a couple of things. Just do those. And we had gotten the. Do you remember when the ICE key tags came out? Those emergency.
Yeah.
Tags, case of emergency. Well, we got some for the business. We got 100, and we give them to people. We had our logo put on them, and we give them to people. But it's like they don't understand what the heck they are. You give them a letter with it explaining it. I ask people, are you using your ice key tags? Oh no, they're on the counter at home. Or so I'm thinking this didn't do much good.
Yeah.
So unless you're out there thumping and stomping all the time, you just lose them.
Yeah.
But we've been busy, thank God, with real estate.
That's good.
We managed some houses, and there's been problems with one house, just everything at once. You can't get workmen out to do the work, and so you're scrambling all the time. And Doug was sick yesterday, so I'm trying to hold this thing together, and I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about screens and plumbing. I said, "Can I call you back tomorrow? It's not an emergency."
Crazy.
So how do you get your church work done and your marketing?
Well, I delegate. From 6 until 6:30 each morning, I try to be on my prayer call. I have a prayer call that I start off the day with. And I generally get up at 5:30 in the morning. And then from 6:30 until 7, I take my shower and I brush my teeth and do my general maintenance. And then from 7 until 9, I spend on the computer getting my credits and looking at my emails and doing all that stuff. And then from 9 to 10, I visit with my wife and try to pay attention to her and do what she needs. And then from usually 10:30 to noon, Monday and Wednesday I have a group that meets in Cleveland at 10:30 and goes until noon or so. And then from 1:30 until 2:30 I do visitations. So I have my whole day mapped out.
Wow.
And so I try to, of course, then some days we have appointments, and some days I work out, some days I just relax from the 10:30 to noon hour. So, but I try to keep busy because, like it's been said, an idle mind is the devil's playground. So I try to keep myself occupied. And then usually each evening I spend time in prayer in front of my computer, praying for people and just doing things that I know I can do on the computer at the same time. But usually I'm in bed by 10 or 10:30.
Oh, you turn in early. Yeah, you're up so early.
Well, I'm up at 5:30, so I need to be in bed at a reasonable hour.
Wow. That's good. Most of our days are so hectic because there is no plan. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen each day. But yeah, it's good if you can map out the day. And I even did a chart, of the different sites I needed to go to each day, like real estate in the morning and then in the afternoon do marketing and so on. But it all goes to pieces because I get a call in the morning and, it's researching a house for somebody or trying to fix a problem. It just all goes to pieces. So I don't know. I really need to pray about that because I think not having a schedule is really hard. I think you're very wise that you, can at least, even if it gets off track every now and then, at least you've got this plan, and I think that's...
Yeah. Well, it's skeleton. It gives me something to hang my bones on, to hang the meat on, so... I don't have to adhere to it absolutely, but it gives me a kind of a rough idea what to do. And I try to pretty much stick to it. So yeah, I do pretty good usually.
Good.
Like today, my wife had 2 doctor appointments, and so that threw off my schedule. So.
Oh yeah.
But then I realized I was tired, and then I needed to rest, or else I would be completely worthless for the call tonight. And then Mike called me and says, "Can you take over for the call tonight?" I said, "Sure."
Oh.
So I had to be here, and I don't mind. I don't mind filling in.
Oh gosh.
Well.
Yeah, I think I'll spend my evening doing that, revising at least a skeleton schedule.
Well, sounds good. Sounds good, and it comes in handy. My phone gives me cues. It warns me 10 or 15 minutes before I'm supposed to do something, that I need to do it, or a half hour before, depending on where I have to go.
You mentioned a meeting in Cleveland. Are you that close to Cleveland?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I'm less than an hour away.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister-in-law's in Gahana. I think she's closer to Columbus. Pretty sure. And we haven't been out to see her in years and years, but the last time we went, it was a Thanksgiving, and they had been talking about lake snow. Had no clue what they were talking about. And it snowed while we were there. I think we were delayed a day coming home because of the snow, but I did find out what lake snow was.
Lake effect snow.
Yeah, they call it lake snow. And I finally found out what the heck they were talking about. But, yeah, I'm almost positive we were delayed a day coming home because of it. So, I don't know. Too cold for me, Reverend Dave, too cold.
I know what you mean. I freeze here every winter.
Oh.
But frankly, I would prefer it to be cooler than hot. I can't stand a lot of heat and humidity. And
yeah, that's what Melissa was saying tonight. She said, "Oh, I wish it were winter again, or fall. I wish it were fall again." Right. I said, "Well, you couldn't wait for winter to be over. Now it's, it's too hot."
Yeah, well, they cut the lawn here today, and so my sinuses were acting up all afternoon, so that was no fun. Had a lot of drainage down my throat. Wow.
Well, I don't think anybody else is showing up, and if you don't want to be babbling on with me.
Well, I don't mind. I was glad to talk to you. We don't have that much time to visit one-on-one, and it was nice to talk to you. And you're on my prayer list. I pray over you and Doug and Melissa every night, and trust God that He's going to take good care of you and prosper you and do for you as only He can do. And I keep a common theme. I keep praying for all my friends and all my relatives and friends in business and so on. is that God would bless you according to His righteousness and not your own. Because let's face it, our righteousness looks like filthy rags to God.
Yeah.
But His righteousness shines like gold. So I keep praying that God would bless him according to His righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, looks like somebody else joined us. Welcome to the Winning Team Training Call. Please let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Well, hello, Dave.
Well, hello. How are you?
A little bit late.
That's okay. We were just getting ready to close up.
Oh. Well,
Just got Sandy here.
got here in time to say hi.
So, Robert, what you doing tonight?
Other than going to eat dinner about a half an hour from now, not too much.
Okay.
Playing with Facebook, getting more confused as each hour goes by.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing on Facebook, Robert?
Huh?
What are you doing on Facebook?
Well, I'm trying to learn how to navigate around Facebook and how to do things properly.
Mm.
It's something that I'm learning with this new thing that I'm with, and it's extremely interesting. I did learn one thing, and I was able to do that, but I still haven't learned how to put it quite in the right place yet. But they said that you wouldn't put a sign out in the middle of a cornfield and expect to get people to come in, because there ain't nothing out in the cornfield but corn.
Mm.
And so it makes a lot of sense. So basically what he's saying is if you have Facebook, then you should have your business URL somewhere near your name, because that's just the way it should be. And makes sense to me. But I'm still trying to learn how to do a bunch of things. So Facebook to me is really, I guess a lot of people would say it's pretty simple, but for me it's not. And most people I see that are on Facebook and do things on Facebook do it so fast that, I can't see nothing. So I have to slow everything down and take a real good look at it and, go from there. But other than that, huh?
I think it was last night, either the last night or the night before, I got so disgusted because there are certain nights where there is nothing but spam. I mean, it's just one ad after another. And I got to the point last night I thought, I don't need this. And I start unfollowing people. Just, because they had one ad after another. And I must have unfollowed 3, 4, 5 people. I just got so disgusted. That's not the answer, and that's why I get upset when I post in the groups and that shows up on my page, because that shouldn't happen. When you post in a group, it shouldn't be showing up on your timeline. And it doesn't usually happen, but I remember Marnie being upset about that because hers was constantly popping up on her timeline. And so I don't want that to happen.
Well, see, my understanding from what I've learned so far is that, and you're referring to a group now, right?
Yeah, the network marketing group or the entrepreneurs group, or one of those that you do post your ad in there, but you don't want it showing up on your personal timeline. Right.
What I was told earlier today is that you don't post any ads in your group, okay? Now, the only thing that you would post in reference to any kind of ad is, let's say that, like tonight, we have a call. If I had a call that I wanted people to make sure they got to, then that would be all right to post that call and the URL and everything, or whatever you need to get to that call. That would be okay. But you're not supposed to be posting specifically URLs, and that's the reason that they were telling us that you should take and put your URL somewhere near your name, because it's like a road sign. You know, it's at least letting people know that you are in business. And when you do that, then there's no necessity to put it in into your group. The group is really to just share information about what's going on, and maybe you see something, an article or something that you want to post that might be very interesting to read, but you're not supposed to be posting any quote-unquote URLs. That's just not necessary. There are other places that you can post a URL or an opportunity thing if you wish, but again, you shouldn't be doing that, because the whole concept and the idea of Facebook is to befriend somebody.
Oh.
And if you befriend somebody and then shoot them a URL, that's not befriending them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but these groups are specifically set up for people to add it. That's what they say. Post your URL. That's what these are set up to do. These groups, that's specifically what they are in business for. I mean, somebody set up a group and it's so that you could post your business on it. And that's all they are.
Right.
Because they seem a little senseless because it's just one after another. I don't read anybody else's, and I'm sure they don't read mine. So I'm thinking, what good is this doing?
Yeah, and see, that's why I like the training that I'm getting right now, because basically what he's saying is, no, that's wrong. You don't do that. A group is for you to post, like if I read something in a book that I found very interesting, and it should pertain to business in some sense, you know, but not your URL. You're not there to sell your business. You're there to befriend people. Now, somebody likes what you're posting, and somebody likes what you have to say, and you can basically, you know, I could say something about my company, like, gee whiz, I just started my company 3 months ago, and I'm really doing well. Period. Okay? No posting of links or anything like that, because that's not necessary. And that's the one reason I like the training that I'm getting now, is because, you know, he's pretty down to earth and very specific as to what is right and what is wrong. And that's why, like today, I was learning about, you know, you need to post your URL somewhere near your name, because when somebody comes to Facebook and you befriend somebody, the first thing they should be doing is looking at your profile. And when they look at your profile, then they can see if you're in business, because you'll have it listed. And if they have a question about the business you're in, they can post that. Say, hey, John, I see you're in such and such a business. How's it going? Well, now you can return the reply by letting them know it's going good, it's going bad, I like it, I don't like it, whatever. And then after, you know, you get a certain degree of friendliness, lack of a better word, sooner or later somebody is going to say to somebody else, well, if I was interested in that, how would I get in? Okay, now you can give them your URL. Or vice versa. They might have something that you find interesting that might be able to help your business. Because I do know that there are a lot of, you know, I break businesses into two sections. One is the section of I'm selling a drink, I'm selling a vitamin, I'm selling a tin can. You know, I'm selling something that you're going to buy. The other half is where I have a service. I'm providing a service of some kind that might be helpful to whatever you're doing. And that's the only two kinds of businesses that I can see that are on the internet, other than maybe you could add training. You know, for example, if somebody wants to get more leads, they might have a particular service that they think is very good and they're having a lot of luck with. And if you ask them about it, then they have permission you can give them the URL. The third one would be training. For somebody who, for example, they're just having a hard time doing anything because they just don't understand the internet. They don't understand Facebook. They don't understand how to run a business. Then that would be the third and only other possibility that I could think of, and that would be a training. Where you can, and some trainings are free, some cost money. But yeah, I agree with you. These people, unfortunately, they're being trained improperly, and some of them are actually being trained improperly by companies that are telling them to do it. And I think that's very sad. They shouldn't be doing it. It's wrong, and all they're going to succeed in doing is doing exactly what you did. You're going to kick them out. And that was one other thing that he was talking about when he was telling us today that if you have a friend request, the very first thing you should be doing is going on that person's picture and finding out a little bit about them and what kind of business they're in. If they're in a business that, say, you've been in before and you have no interest in, then don't befriend them. You're wasting your time. Unless you had a training thing and you thought you might be able to help them in reference to training. But he said, be very specific to who you befriend. Don't befriend everybody. He said, I don't know how many people go in there and they befriend everybody. Well, the problem with that is if you do that enough times, pretty soon Google, Facebook will just shut you out. You won't be able to befriend anybody. So anyway,
well,
I kind of go.
When I first got into network marketing, I guess it was back in 2009, whatever, my sponsor said, go into Facebook and build up your friend list until you've got 5,000 friends. And I did that. It took me about a year. And I thought, this is crazy. I mean, I was missing posts by my family, by friends, because everything was buried in these stupid friends, so to speak. So I started deleting and deleting and deleting and deleting, and I don't think now I have more than 400 or 500, but that's plenty. It still seems like too much.
Right.
But people think if you have a lot of friends, that just gives you more exposure. But all it does is make you a target, basically, for all these spammers.
Right, and I would agree with you. Now, one thing, and I don't know about you, but this is something that I have personally done. I actually have 2 Facebook accounts, okay? And I can go to my other Facebook account and I don't have to worry about a thing, because if anybody sneaks in there, I simply delete them, because my other Facebook account is for my family, relatives, and close friends only.
Well, I did that for a while, Robert, but I started getting people asking me which Facebook page they needed to join. It caused me a lot of confusion. So I thought, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. So it's just one Facebook page. But I do have a business page. I have an MLM page. And I post business stuff there and have it, sometimes it does trickle back to the timeline, but it's usually a press release or something. It's not spam.
Right, and I think a perfect example, you're probably a member of IBO, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have press releases in my IBO, and occasionally I will put in a press release on my page, but I have to be very selective because some of them are just at random things that I thought that have absolutely nothing to do with business. And then I've got maybe 5 or 6 that do mention the business. Now, the only thing I need to do with those is I need to go back and edit them, because according to the person I was talking to today, I need to put in a URL, because he says, what good does it do to advertise a business if they can't get to it? And that's just an oversight on my part. I mean, when I was doing it, I just never thought of that. I was just doing the post. But yeah, and the reason I like that is, and I like the IBO, is because each post has its own URL. So once you know which one you want, you just put in the URL, and that's it. It works good. But yeah, that's an individual thing, and I was just sharing with you what I do, because 2 separate accounts I can handle. Now, I do know a few people say they got 5 or 6. I couldn't handle that.
Whoa.
You know, but having 2, you know, in my second one, I mean, when I look at my account, I can tell you right away which one is family and which one is business, because just the way I did it. And so when I want to say late in the evening before I go to bed, I want to leave a message on my Facebook account that pertains to my family, then I know I can put it on there, and only people are going to see it is family. And I go through the Facebook, I don't know, I can't tell you how to do it, but I know you can do it. I can go in there and say, this is not allowed, that's not allowed, I don't want this, I don't want that. So when I get all done, it's strictly family. Nobody should be allowed in there. And if somebody accidentally gets in there for whatever reason, I just kick them out. I had one conversation, this is about 3 months ago, with a guy that got on there, and, my first question was, do you know me? Well, no. I just want to befriend you. Are you part of my family? No. I just want to befriend you. Then I asked him another question. All I got back constantly was, all I want to do is befriend you, excuse me. And so finally I just said, bye, delete it, gone. I'm not going to mess with it. I tried 3 times to get, to clarify, and all he wanted to do was figure out some way to get in there, and I wasn't going to let it happen.
Crazy.
But again, that's just because of the training that I'm doing right now, and I'm very happy with it, because it's teaching me things that, you probably know more about Facebook than I do, but it's teaching me things business-wise that I need to know, and I need to know not what to do. For example, you should never befriend more than 5 or 6 people per day if you're looking, for example, like you said, a big list. Because if you do, pretty soon Facebook will just freeze you out and won't allow you to have any more. You need to check to make sure that if you send out, for example, 5 friend requests, and at the end of a week you've only got 1 back, then you delete the other 4. You don't waste your time. You delete that one, all the other 4, and keep the one that showed some kind of interest. And but all these things are really important to learn, and in my case, I'm a slow learner, so it's going to take me probably I don't know, might even take me a couple months, but I'll get it. With a little help.
I was telling Reverend Dave I did sign up, but I haven't even opened the link to see what it is. I just have it so slammed that there's been no time. But it does sound interesting. So
yeah, and I can tell you right now, just so that you know, because I believe in being straightforward, if you were to go in there, and for example, if you were to go to the kindergarten class, it's funny. I mean, you'll be laughing like crazy. But it is an hour and a half long, and that's a long time to sit to listen to a conference. And so I'm telling you that up front. If you do like I did the first time, I went and listened to half an hour, and I've learned from experience. I used to think that if I went onto one of these sites, I had to listen to the whole thing. If it was 8 hours long, I had to listen to the whole thing. I didn't realize I could hit the little button, mute it, and come back an hour later and continue. Well, now I know that. So, yeah, you could go in there and listen to it for, say, 20, 30 minutes, and then just put it on mute and come back, I don't know, an hour or even the next day and continue listening. But I personally think it's a fantastic program. I think this guy, he knows what he's talking about, and he's very straightforward. He's going to tell you, this is not right, or, you've been lied to by the companies, or you've been lied to by the gurus. You don't go out there and try to sell 5,000 people something. You want to befriend a few that show some interest, and if they don't show any interest within 5 days, kick them out. And then you talk to them on a friendly business. Where do you live? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What are your goals in life? So you gradually work it towards the business aspect. Or what are you looking for in life? Or are you in business by any chance? How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And you don't drop in a URL until you've gotten permission from either person. They ask you, about your business, you can give them the URL. Or if you see something that interests you, you can ask them for a URL. That is the only time that URL should be dropped into the conversation, because they've showed some interest. They've said to you, hey. And then you're no longer spamming. And that's what he's saying. All these people that are doing what you say they're doing are just plain ignorant. They're spamming, basically. In an indirect way. That's all they're doing. And people get tired of it. And like you're left with only one thing to do: kick them out. And if that's what you have to do, then kick them out. Well, I'm building a business. I can't. Even if I had 5,000 friends, I couldn't accommodate them all. I would have to sift through them and find out, who has interest and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to really be a friend and who just wants to feed me a line of bull. You know what I'm talking about.
I regularly, haven't done it for a week or so, but I regularly go in and welcome newbies. I usually do a page, sometimes two if I have time, 2 pages. And because you can select that in IBO, you can select new members only or something. And
right.
You can select that category. Well, several times, it didn't happen early on, but several times lately, there have been pages and pages of the same person posting their link. So you maybe get a newbie, and then another newbie, and then this guy that isn't even a newbie anymore because he's so far down the page with
right.
his ads and his links. And I report them. I just flag it because I'm not putting up with that. Oh.
Right. And you know what? We shouldn't have to. And you do exactly, you're talking about IBO now. Okay?
That's outrageous. That's absolutely outrageous. You're just joining IBO to post your link. That's all you're doing.
Right. And I actually, because I do exactly the same thing you do, I accept everybody. Okay? And sometimes I'll get an email that says you got a message from so-and-so.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I go back to IBO, the very first thing I do is if they've dropped a link in there saying, gee, you need to check out this, it's a great company, blah, blah, blah,
Unfriend
I
them.
say, yeah, but I'm really nice. I'm different probably maybe than you. I'll put in there, very, very interested, but I'm not interested, and I have no desire to have any further communication with you. Goodbye. And then I delete it.
You broke up just then. What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said that I go in and then I type underneath, I have no desire or interest in what you're offering. And I will delete you as soon as this is finished. And then I send a message and then I delete them. I want them to know that it's not acceptable to just send me a link.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sad part of that is I always have to hit myself in the head because when I first got on IBO about 3 years ago, guess what I did? The same damn thing. Somebody would befriend me and I'd send them my link. Now I realize, I realized beforehand that that's not the right thing to do. So now, if somebody befriends me and then there's a little short message, how are you? I see here that you're from Nevada, and I'll send them a little note. Yes, I am. What part of the country are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And I get 3 or 4 of those, After I've gotten at least 3 or 4 and they're not intrusive, then I'll say, oh, by the way, I know with IBO you must be in some kind of business. May I ask what you do? See, now you've befriended the person. Now if he wants to send his link, because I'm giving him permission, I'm curious now. We've had a little conversation. I'd like to know, what is it that you do? Sometimes I've had a few people, they send me, so, oh, I'm in Amway. Oh, well, I've been there, done that. It's a great company, but that's something that I'm not interested in and wouldn't be interested in doing. But maybe I can help you. And I don't give him no link. You know. Yeah, it's sometimes it takes a really high degree of patience. And I don't know where I got it. I really don't. But I am the kind of person that I've got patience. I'm the kind of guy that I could have a dog attack me and bite me 20 times, and I'd probably put up my arms and say, "Dear God, would you please tell this dog quit biting me?" You know, I'd be patient. I'd just wait for him to quit.
I'm Italian. I have no patience.
Yeah, see, we're all different, and that's what makes it wonderful.
Well, that's a learning curve, actually. You know, really, but it's when people. Oh, what is it Mike said? When you qualify people on the phone, it's when they're not willing to learn. I mean, it's okay to make the mistakes. We've all made them.
That's right.
But learn, for heaven's sakes. You know, just take advice and learn. And it's relationship building. People don't want to have a relationship with you. If, as a friend of mine used to say, if you throw up your business all over them the first time you meet, and it's true. I mean, you want to get to know people before you even consider having them in your business.
Absolutely. And, and that's something else that I do that I think is very unique. I'd like to see everybody do it, but I'm gonna share it with you because I just think it's cool. Okay. When I get on there like IBO, I'll tell somebody, I'm willing to learn anything that you can teach me, only if you're willing to learn from me. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I send it because I want them to know that I'm open-minded. I want them to know that I need to learn, but if they're not in a position that they're willing to learn, then I don't want to learn nothing from a know-it-all. You know where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know it all, and I know damn well they don't know it all. And if they can't admit to me right up front that they don't know it all, but I'm willing to learn because I know they could know something I don't, but at the same token, I might know something they don't. Mm-hmm. You know, just like having a conversation with you. You probably know a lot more than I do in reference to Facebook, but I've learned a few things that I think are valuable, and so I know a little bit too. Mm-hmm. And that's tit for tat, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what teamwork's all about. You know, just no one team member is going to be complete. It takes a little bit from each one to make it work.
Well, I beg to differ, Sandy, because those of you who think you know it all are very annoying to those of us who do.
I know that, Dave, yes. What would we do without our Dave?
Well, folks, I have 9:02 Eastern Time, and so I'm going to close us down because I'm getting tired and getting.
You're going to make Robert late for dinner, and he's going to get beat up.
Yes, I'll get
can't
beat
have
up.
that. So, hopefully we'll meet Thursday. I'm planning on being here. Hopefully Mike will be back. If not, somebody will be here. If it's not me, it'll be somebody else. But I'm planning on being here myself. So, thank you all for coming. A very very inspired dialogue. That was very good. Robert, thank you for joining us. Glad you got here. You know, it was a little bit late.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had people come in and I couldn't ignore them, so
Mhm.
just one of those things.
Mhm. Mhm.
But anyway,
Good night,
I'm going to run.
everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to run. So good night, all, and hope to see you Thursday.
All right, take care, everybody.
All
Good
right,
night.
good
God
night.
bless everybody. Good night.
God bless everybody.